My name's Toni Shelbourne and I'm the author of The Truth About Wolves and Dogs. I've had a long career working with dogs and wolves and wrote the book to dispel the myths surrounding dog training. We spend so much time concerning ourselves with status. And over the centuries, we've been led to believe that we have to really strive to be the alpha. The problem is that most dogs actually don't want to dominate. And then we end up putting these needless rules in place. And it really confuses and stresses the dogs out. And that means that they end up either mislabeling behaviour or calling them dominant. In the last video, we looked at the research from Rudolf Schenkel that's been disproved, and that research was done back in the 30s and 40s. So what we're actually going to do in this video is look at how wolf packs actually work and what makes a really good leader. Okay, so we're at Wildwood in Kent, and we've come down to have a look at their pack of wolves. It's quite special for me to come down because I'm seeing Apollo, and Apollo is the father of the wolves, the European wolves I used to work with. So it's really nice to come and check him out. He's probably one of the oldest captive wolves in the country now. He's about to turn 16, we think. So really nice to see he's still healthy and moving around. So in the olden days, we used to talk about alpha pair, beta pair. We used to talk about omega wolves as well. And a lot of that is old hat now. We don't use the term alpha at all, other than if you've got two wolves of sexual maturity in a pack that are bred at the same time. We used to talk about beta wolves in the wild, so they would be termed as maybe your second in command. That phrase has probably come out of play now, it's probably not used so much, but what we do still use is the term omega, and that's your wolf that's really down the bottom of the pecking order, I guess, the one who maybe is a tension reliever. So their job really sometimes is to insert themselves in between two wolves who maybe are a little bit warring. So if you relate that to your pet dog, when you have an argument with your partner and your dog jumps up in between you, it's not trying to be dominant. What it's trying to do is diffuse a situation. That's being a good omega animal. And they do also have the ability to go from being an omega to a breeding pair at some point in their lives, as in a breeding pair can also go to the bottom of the pack as well. So it's very fluid, a pack. We used to think it was linear. Now we just know it's much more fluid than that really, and it can change for lots of different reasons, whether wolves are getting older, wolves have died, wolves have dispersed from the pack. Sometimes the youngsters will disperse and even come back for a while as well. Anne is the education officer and teaches kids about wolves, often emphasising the similarities between wolf packs and their own families. And I was visiting with Apollo earlier because of course Apollo, very close to my heart, being the parents of one half of the parents of the wolves I used to work with. How's he doing?
He's doing fine. He's coming up to 16, which is incredible for a European wolf. He's had a little bit of arthritis in his back legs for a few years, but he's on a typical canine medicine that you give your own dog. Yeah. And the other wolves acknowledge the fact that he needs a bit of help. So I've actually seen his oldest son, when Apollo's sitting down at feeding time, actually go and put his nose under Apollo's back legs and push him up onto his feet, and then shoulder walk so that Apollo can actually lean into him so he can go and claim the food, and the others wait politely until he's fed. So it's there's a huge amount of respect in the pack for him.
And then that goes against everything that people always say, isn't it, about, you know, the alphas have to eat first, and it's like this, that and the other. And people don't realise that wolves are really altruistic, aren't they? They'll help each other out, they'll take food to older wolves, they'll wait and nurse wolves that are injured as well, won't they, in the wild and stuff?
This is it. I mean, people always assume that a wolf pack is based on aggression. Who's the toughest gets to the top, who loses all the battles goes to the bottoms and gets kicked. And in fact, it's much more, I think it's what they call a qualified democracy. It's much more like a human family. It's one of the few species where you can leave and come back. If you're elderly, you can stay and be looked after. And if you're little, everybody has a role. It's a really, really special animal.
How does this relate to your dog at home? They are happy to be your companion. You don't have to control everything they do. Of course, rules are needed, but not allowing them on the sofa or eating before them or going out the door first doesn't make a difference to your status in their eyes. If anything, it's confusing for them. Bringing your dogs up like your kids, teaching them good manners and curbing boundary pushing, but coach and guide them, don't dominate them. and your dog will really thank you for it.